ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेष्व भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवत्युत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले सोऽयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमां विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम पदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। सर्वशास्त्राभ्युपीयूष सर्ववेदैकसत्फल सर्वसिद्धान्तरत्नाढ्य सर्वलोकैकदृक्पद सर्वभागवत प्राण श्रीमद्भागवत प्रभो कलिध्वान्तोदितादित्य श्रीकृष्ण परिवर्तित परमानंद पाठाय प्रेमवर्षक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तु मे मदेकबन्धो मत्सङ्गिन् मत्कुरो मन्महाधन मन्निस्तारकमद्भाग्य मदानंद नमोस्तुते। असाधु साधुतादायिन् अतिनिचोच्चता कर हानमुञ्च कदाचिन्मां प्रेमार्थ स्फुर। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम की जय। दशमश्य विशुद्ध्यर्थं नवानामिह लक्षणं वर्णयन्ति महात्मानः श्रुतेन चार्थेन चाञ्जसा। Hare Krishna. So welcome all of you in today's session. Uh, just a disclaimer in the beginning. Today I am not running the session actually from the regular internet connection. There was some disruption here in my place. So that's why I'm running it on another internet connection. So just in case you have some trouble hearing, you may tolerate it. But if it is too much difficult to understand or it's too much breaking voice, then do let me know. Any of you can let me know if you're facing too much trouble. Hare Krishna. So we are studying from 10th canto, and apologies in the beginning. I could not take last two sessions actually because of some genuine difficulties. So now we wish to continue ahead from where we left off. So this is Canto 10th, Chapter 1st, The Advent of Lord Krishna, Introduction. And in this we have seen till text 22. So now we are in the third section of this particular chapter. In the first section of this chapter, we spoke about Parikshit. Okay, so you have to keep yourself on mute, each one, please. Make sure. So in the first section, we heard about Parikshit's desire to hear the pastime of Krishna, Lord Krishna, in detail. So his expression of eagerness that has been discussed in the first section of this chapter. Uh, so there he spoke about Tani no Vada Vistara. I want to hear glories of the Supreme Lord. Then he also spoke about how he would never feel satiated. So we saw those verses. He expressed his own gratitude towards Krishna because Krishna is the reason of his existence. Then in the second section, he asked the questions. What does he want to know, especially pertaining to Sri Krishna's pastimes? So those four verses describe the questions of Maharaj Parikshit, starting from text 8, 8, 9, 10, 11, those verses. And then after that, Shukdev Goswami, he glorified, appreciated the words of uh, Parikshit Maharaj, uh, Samyak Vyavasita Buddhi Rajarshi Tava Sattama, Tava Rajarshi Sattama, right? In all those words. He also appreciated the nature of Krishna Katha, Vasudev Katha Prashna, Purushan Strin Punatihi, Vaktaram Prachakam Shrotram Statpada Salilam Yatha. And after that, we have seen now, this is the third section in which we are hearing the context of Sri Krishna's appearance. Sri Krishna Avirbhav Prasangam. This is that context, starting from text 17. So, this is the time of 7th Manvantara, 28th Divya Yuga. In the Towards the end of Dwapar Yuga, the situation is being described where Mother Earth was overburdened by so many phalanxes of demoniac kings. Uh, so then she went to Brahmaji. She was Akranta Bhuri Bharyen. She was very much distressed by this burden of these demoniac people. So she went to Brahma, and then Brahma, along with all the demigods, they all went to the shore of the Milk Ocean, where they prayed to the Tatra Gatva Jagannatham Deva Devam Vrishakapim. So there they prayed to the Supreme Lord by Purusha Sukta prayers. And then Brahmaji heard the words of the Supreme Lord, uh, that Vani of the Supreme Lord, Gam Paurushim, that's the word. So then he described, because that Vani, those words can only be heard by Brahma. So he described those words, and he told the demigods that please hear these words, these instructions of the Supreme Lord, and execute these instructions immediately. So text 22 described how Lord already knew about all the distress of the Mother Earth. He doesn't need to be informed. Uh, so he already was aware. Uraiva pumsa avadruto dharajava, it is mentioned. So all of you should, Brahma told all the devatas that all of you should, by your amshas, you should take birth in the Yadukula. And as long as Lord is there performing pastimes in the Yadukula on this planet Earth, you should also help him, assist him in this task. So that was the last verse. Now, three more verses he will speak about that instruction. 23, 24, 25. Three more verses. He would speak about Lord's instruction to the Devatas. And then Brahmaji would go back to his abode. So these three verses, and these verses now we will see. Okay, text 23. Just give me a minute. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhu. Yes.
Yeah. There's some. Now it should be okay. Okay. So वसुदेव गृहे साक्षात् भगवान् पुरुषः परः जनिष्यते तत्प्रियार्थं संभवन्तु सुरस्त्रियः. Okay. Translation, Ishwara Prabhu, you can read.
Yeah, Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Translation: the Supreme Personality of Godhead Sri Krishna, who has full potency, will personally appear as the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, all the wives of the demigod should also appear in order to satisfy him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay. So, Vasudeva Grahe Sakshat Bhagavan Purusha Paraha Janishyate will appear. Janishyate. Bhagavan Janishyate. Bhagavan will appear. Where will he appear? Vasudeva Grahe. He will appear. He will appear in the house of Vasudeva. And this is Sakshat Bhagavan. Now, this is not going to be some expansion of Garbhodakshai Vishnu or like that. No. This is Sakshat Swayam Bhagavan is going to appear. Sakshat Bhagavan, Purushaha Paraha. And these words show that this particular appearance is of the Supreme Lord Himself. It is not appearance of just a mere Amsha of Purusha, right, which happens in the other Chaturyuga cycles. Ete chamsha kala pumsaha krishnastu bhagavan swayam indrari vyakulam lokam nradayanti yuge yuge. Usually, all the incarnations, they are either portions or plenary portions of those portions on Amsha, Kala. That's how the incarnations are. And they come from Mahavishnu, or you could say in a particular universe, they come from Garbhodakshai Vishnu. But is this an incarnation of Garbhodakshai Vishnu? Is this an incarnation coming from Garbhodakshai Vishnu? No. He is Sakshad Bhagavan Purushaha Paraha. He is the supreme Purusha, Purushottama. Krishna also is known as Purushottama. So he is that Purushottama. He is Sakshad Bhagavan. So he is going to appear this time. And that's why Tat Priyartham Sambhavantu Surastriyaha. And that's why Surastriyaha, the ladies of the demigods, they should also Sambhavantu, they should also appear perfectly for Tat Priyartham, for his satisfaction, for his pleasure. So now there is some specific meaning to this this particular phrase, Tat Priyartham Surastriyah Sambhavantu. Who are these ladies when we say heavenly ladies? Who are they? Are they the wives of the demigods? Or are they someone else? So that's the comment in the, yeah, those are the comments in the commentaries. Tat Priyartham. Tat Priyartham could also mean here, it can also mean that Tat Priyartham means for the sake of his beloveds. Tat Priya. So Lord's beloved, like Rukmini or Radha. These are the beloveds of the Lord. And let these Surastriyaha, these goddesses from the heaven, let them appear for the accompaniment or for the friendship of Sri Radha and Sri Rukmini. Meaning, they will become Sakhis of Sri Radha, Rani, or Rukmini Devi, and Lord's consorts. So that's the meaning that is coming. Okay, so text 23, you can see. Sri Sanatana Goswami, SG stands for Sanatana Goswami. One who is going to appear now is Supreme Lord himself. Purushaha Paraha, and Sakshad Bhagavan. Thus, an idea that Amsha will appear is refuted. So, right in the beginning, you can see Brahma's words to the Devatas. Those words themselves are declaring that this is going to be the Supreme Lord who is going to appear now. Purushaha Paraha, Sakshad Bhagavan. So, Amsha of the Lord is not going to appear, but Lord Himself is going to appear this way. So this idea we will see in great detail when we will talk about Lord's appearance. But then Vishnu Puran, it seems to be speaking about this idea of two hairs. Kesha Avatar, you must have heard that idea. Kesha Avatar, Lord Vishnu pulled or plucked two hairs, one white and one black, and he said that, basically my amshas are going to appear. So it seems like, I mean, that's the popular idea. Okay, I am in always a dilemma. If I mute everyone, then I can't call upon anyone to lead. And if I allow everyone to speak, then they can't keep themselves muted. So that's a trouble. Okay. So there is this idea, and Srila Jiva Goswami has analyzed this idea in Krishna Sandarbha. Are Krishna and Balaram the incarnations of hairs of Lord Vishnu? Two hairs, one black and one white, like that. So this is not a right idea. Srila Swami himself does not accept this idea absolutely. He says if we speak like that, then there will be violation of prior statements. Srila Swami speaks about this in second canto. In second canto, 7th chapter, there is the list of incarnations. So there, in the list of incarnation, this particular word comes, Sita Krishna Kesha, that's the word. So there, Sridhar Swami analyzes this idea that some people feel that Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, they are like white hair and black hair of Lord Vishnu. So he's referring to the idea from Vishnu Purana. And he's also spoken in Mahabharata, also in Narsimha Puran, some places it is mentioned. Many similar words are used. So that idea is not exactly right, actually, because here we see that Lord is himself appearing. So first of all, why should Lord Vishnu have a white hair on his head? Lord Vishnu's hairs are considered to be pitch black. And Sridhar Swami himself says there is no question of any white hairs on Lord's head. So the whole idea there is different, actually. It's not so much like he plucked out black and white hair and gave it to demigods, saying that, Krishna and Balaram, who are like hairs like this, they are going to appear. No, that's not the idea, but it basically means he just touched his hair. And that's all the meaning is there, given by many acharyas. In fact, not only Gaudiyas, even people like Hemadri, they have commented. Hemadri is a popular scholar of Bhagavatam from Maharashtra. This is way back in the 12th century, and he is quite a respected intellectual in terms of Smriti Shastras and all that. So even he agrees this point that this particular interpretation cannot be right. So the point there is that Lord Vishnu was signifying that actually, Lord Krishna and Lord Balaram, they are they are worthy enough to sit on my head. And with that understanding, he touched his head. That is how Srila Jiva Goswami explains that verse. So the point is not that they are incarnations coming out from Kshirodakshayi Vishnu, but actually Purushaha Paraha, Sakshad Bhagavan. These words show that they are, meaning Lord is actually Swayam Bhagavan himself, and Shirodakshai Vishnu or like that. These are actually expansions coming out from Sri Krishna in that manner. So even Sridhar Swami, he says that if we accept that Lord Krishna and Balaram are Vishnu's incarnation, so there will be a big Purvapara Virodha. He says that there will be a big contradiction of what is spoken by Bhagavatam before and later, which is Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam before, and later all these verses that we are talking about, Purushaha Paraha or Sakshat Bhagavan. So these words would not mean the right thing if we accept such an interpretation. So although that's quite a popular idea, and that idea could also refer to other Chaturyugas, because there Lord Krishna or Balaram, they don't appear in their self-same form, isn't it? Those incarnations are typically uh, coming from Garbhodakshay Vishnu, like any other incarnation. So in those cases, it would be okay also to say that, but certainly not for seventh Manvantaras, that is Vaivasvat Manvantaras, 28 Diva Yuga. So this idea, I will take it in great detail when Krishna's appearance will be described, because that time the verses they speak very nicely addressing this particular idea. But still, I have given you the gist of the matter, that this is what it is. It's not. It should not be taken literally there, because it will cause. It will cause violation of this principle. And as I said, this is the idea of even Sridhar Swami. It's not that only Gaudiyas are talking about this. So this is the point. Tat Priyartham means for his pleasure brought about through service, or it can mean for friendship with his beloved, such as Sri Rukmini and Sri Radha. So Tat Priyartham Sambhavantu. Let the goddesses in heaven, Surastriyaha, let them appear Tat Priyartham. So that can mean for his pleasure, meaning by their service unto him. Or it can also mean Tat Priyartham means Tasya Priyayaha Sakhyartham. उनकी प्रेयसियों के सख्य के लिए, that meaning can also be there for Tat Priyartham. So these ladies. So now Vishwanath Chakravarti gives a very special meaning to this Surastriyaha. So he says that only the Devis or goddesses who are amshas of his beloveds, that is, who are the women of Manvantara avatars, such as Upendra. Vishwanath Chakravarti is telling who are these Surastriyaha, who are these heavenly ladies who are told to be taking appearance. Who are they? So he says these are the ladies who are wives of Manvantara avatars, such as Vamana, Upendra. Upendra or Vamana, he has a wife. She is known as Kirti, sorry. Bhagavatam 6 canto describes. Lord Vamana Deva has a wife, and her name is Kirti. And he also has a son called Brahat Shloka. So this Vamana, and like he's a Manvantar avatar for the Vaivasvatman, right? So when Lord comes, Lord Krishna comes, what happens is all these Manvantar avatars who take their appearance in heaven, they also join Krishna in his body, in Krishna's transcendental body. They also come within Krishna's transcendental body. So the wife of Vamana, she also joins in the pastime by becoming the Sakhi of personalities like Sri Radharani or Rukmini, who are Lord's Nityapriya. This way. So that's the Surastriya he is talking about. So these ladies, when Lord, actually, I mean, such is the attraction of Lord's pastimes that when Lord performs these pastimes, even the uh, even the wives of or wife of personalities like Vamana, who are nothing but expansions of actually Krishna's Nitya Priyas, right? Uh, just as Vamana is an expansion of Sri Krishna, similarly, the wife of Vamana is also expansion of Sri Krishna's Nitya Priyas. And when Lord performs the pastimes, those are so attractive that even just as Lord Vamana himself, when Lord Krishna appears, all these incarnations they appear within the Lord. Uh, Similarly, these personalities like Kirti, sometimes in Vishnu Puran she is known as Kamala or Padma. Uh, so these personalities also appear in Lord's Leela. And why do they appear? Remaining separate from their Amshis for the sake of friendship with these ladies who are dear to him. Tat priyartham, tat priyanam sakhyartham. So these personalities, they come and they remain separate from their Amshis. Like Vamana obviously is within Sri Krishna when he is appearing, all these incarnations are within him. But these personalities, these uh, personalities like Kirti, they are appearing separate, Prithak Bhuta, remaining separate. They are appearing and they are serving the Lord as friends of his beloved. Tat Priyanam Sakhyartham. So these are the ladies as per Srila Vishwan Chakravarti. He explains that these are the ladies. Of course, you must be knowing that there are various sections in Lord's beloveds. Ujjwal Nilamani speaks about, one of the chapters speaks about Hari Priyas, all the beloveds of Lord Hari or Sri Krishna. So within that, you can find so many categories are there. There are Swakiya and Parakiya Vedas. Then within Parakiya also there is those who are Kanyakas, who are unmarried, uh, Parakiya, but they're unmarried. Uh, but they have this, I mean, they're not married to Krishna also, and neither they are married to someone else, like that. So, and then another categories of Parodha, and they're married to someone else, and they see Krishna as their beloved or paramour, like that. So now within that also there are multiple categories actually. There are categories which are coming from, I mean, the Upanishads who become the gopis, Shruti gopis, or then there were these Dandakaranya sages who become also gopis, Rishi gopis, and like that there are many categories. So the devatas, the wives of the Manvantara avatars like Vamana and all that, they are also one section. Uh, So the point here is that you are talking about, I mean, Brahma is instructing to the Devatas. No? So the context is Devatas. That is why we see that he is speaking to all these, he is speaking to Devatas about these ladies from the heaven and these personalities. So the point is that there are various sections within Krishna's Leela, and there could be scope for so many other personalities also from the heaven, right? Like we see, like we see even the even those ladies from the uh, those ladies are also part of Krishna's Dwarka Leela who were cursed by Ashtavakra because they laughed, right? So those 16,100 ladies who laughed on Ashtavakra, so they were also by Ashtavakra's, you could say, by benediction and also by curse. So they got this opportunity to be Krishna's wives. So you can see now that's also another set of ladies over there. So different portions or different sections of Krishna Lila, different, all these personalities are there. But especially Surastriyaha here, as per Vishwanath Chakravarti, are these personalities also who are the wives of Manvantara avatars like Upendra, like Vamana. Okay, so So this is described in Ujjwal Nidaman. Deveshu amshena jatasya krishnasya divitushtaye nityapriyanam amshastu ya yata deva yonayah atra devavatarane janitva gopakanyakaah ta amshi ninam evasam priyasakhyo bhavan vraje. When in the form of his amshas, Krishna appears in heaven to please the Lord's Son. This is by Rupa Goswami. This verse is by Rupa Goswami. When in the form of his amshas, Krishna appears in heaven to please the gods, the amshas of his dear beloveds become goddesses. So Krishna appears as avatar in the heaven. Then his beloveds, they also take the form of amshas of his original consorts. When the Lord descended on earth, these very goddesses took birth as daughters of cowherds here in Vraja and became the Priya Sakhis of their Amshis. So Rupa Goswami is writing that these goddesses, who are wives of actually the incarnations of the Lord in the heaven, so these have become Priya Sakhis, and that's one of the section also. So that's the meaning of this verse. So you can see Prabhupada. The Lord's appearance as a child in the house of Devaki takes place continuously in one universe after another. Therefore, the devotee is first transferred to this particular universe, where the pastimes of the Lord are current. Prabhupada speaks about how before the Lord, the associates of the Lord, they take the appearance. So wherever Lord is performing his pastimes, universe after universe, then these devotees, they take first the appearance and they prepare for Lord's appearance, like that. So, especially Sambhavantu Surastriyaha. Surastri, the women of the heavenly planets, were thus ordered to appear in the Yadu dynasty in Vrindavan to enrich the pastimes of Krishna. These Surastri, when further trained to live with Krishna, would be transferred to the original Golok Vrindavan. Yes, so Prabhupada gives another different meaning of Surastri also. Prabhupada says that these Surastri, when further trained to live with Krishna, would be transferred to the original Golok Vrindavan, like that. So we see that the pastimes of Krishna, they give opportunity for the residents of Devatas also, who qualify especially by some prayers like that. The Devatas who qualify by some sage's benediction or by their own bhajan, those who qualify to have pastimes with the Supreme Lord, so they get an opportunity that they can appear with the Lord in some pastime which is happening in one of the universes in Vrindavan. And then after serving the Lord there, then they have the opportunity to go back to the original Golok Vrindavan. So that is also another meaning of Surastri. Different meanings are being explained over here. So we were talking about this before also. Sometimes there is some sage's benediction that can bring one into that pastime. So even the heavenly ladies like that. Or sometimes they themselves, they might do great bhajan. They might do great worship of the Lord, seeing the other devotees. Rupa Goswami also speaks about this. So when they perform great bhajan or devotional service, desiring the Lord's association, then they also get the opportunity to appear in Lord's Leela. And after the Lord's Leela is over, So it's like Lord's Leela in that case it's like a preparatory ground where they prepare their consciousness to go back to the original Golok Vrindavan, like that. So Prabhupada is explaining in that manner also, that Prabhupada is saying that whenever a jiva, he has especially these personalities like that, special personalities from heavenly abodes or like that, then they get the opportunity to have pastimes with Krishna in some particular abode, and then they become qualified to go back Golok Vrindavan, like that. In some place, Prabhupada says this is how even usually it works. Like when a devotee becomes qualified to join Krishna, then usually he's he's made to appear in some lila where Lord is performing, and then uh, performing these pastimes in Bhaum Vrindavan. And then after that, he is allowed to go back to Golok Vrindavan. So in one or two places, he does speak that idea also, like that. So yeah, so the point here is that you can see these heavenly ladies also, they have the great fortune to be appearing in the Lord's Leela this way. With the association of Lord Krishna either at Dwarkapuri, Mathurapuri, or Vrindavan, they would certainly return home back to Godhead, like that. So that's how Prabhupada is explaining this verse. Okay. So next verse. Vasudeva Kalanantah Sahasra Vadana Swarat Agrato Bhavita Devo Harehe Priya Chikirshaya. Okay. Murali Mukund Prabhu, do you want to read the translation? Okay, anyone else wants to read? I hope you are able to unmute yourself. Yeah. Okay, can't unmute. Sorry.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah, now you can.
I can unmute myself.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
I can unmute myself.
Yeah, now please read.
Okay. The foremost manifestation of Krishna is Sankarshana, who is known as Ananta. He is the origin of all incarnations within this material world. Previous to the appearance of Lord Krishna, this original Sankarshana will appear as Baladeva, just to please the Supreme Lord Krishna in his transcendental pastimes.
Thank you. Also, the very special appearance of Baladeva, Vasudeva Kalanantah Sahasravadana Swarat, Agrato Bhavita Devo, Agrato Bhavita, he will become the Agraja. Who is that? Vasudeva Kala. So Vasudeva Kala, who is Lord Ananta, he is expansion of Vasudeva, right? Because he is Sankarshana. Okay, keep yourself on mute, please, all of you. Please take care of this. I mean, even I don't want to make someone else look after these things because usually, right, they also get distracted in the class. So you just take care of everyone, just take care of yourself. You, as soon as you speak, you are done, just mute yourself. Okay. Vasudeva Kalanantah, now he's talking about Baladev, Balaram. So he is Sankarshana, so he is Vasudeva Kala, his expansion of Lord Vasudeva. Anantah, he is also known as Anantadev or Ananta. Sahasravadana, at Shesha, he is having thousands of mouths. Sahasravadana. Swarat, and he is that Supreme Lord, fully independent. So he is going to be Agrato Bhavita. He is going to be the one who will be born before the Supreme Lord, one who will appear before the Supreme Lord. So he's going to be elder brother. Agrato Bhavita. Devo, he is that Baladeva. Harehe Priya Chikirshaya. And that is with a desire to please the Supreme Lord. Priya Chikirshaya. Harehe Priya Chikirshaya means in order to do what is pleasing to the Lord, in order to do that something which is pleasing to the Lord. Priya Chikirshaya. Chikirsha means the desire to do. That is called Chikirsha. Just like Jidnyasa means the desire to know, Chikirsha is the desire to do something. So Priya Chikirsha means the desire to do the act of pleasing whom? Supreme Lord. Priya Chikirshaya. That's the meaning. With a desire to cause the pleasure of the Lord, Lord Ananta will become the elder brother this time. So interesting, no? What is that he wants to cause the Lord happiness, that he is becoming elder brother? Although he is expansion of Vasudeva, so it befits that he should be younger brother, right? Why is he becoming elder brother? So that's the interesting point here, like that. So he's Baladev. Baladev is being spoken over here, spoken about. Srila Jiva Goswami. Agrato Bhavita means Jeshta Bhrata Bhavishyati. Agrato Bhavita, he will come before. Bhavita here is future tense. Bhavita, Bhavita Vana Bhuya, right? Krishna also says. So, Jeshta Bhrata Bhavishyati, he will become the elder brother. Vasudeva Kala means he is the Amsha of Shri Krishna, who is the most important in the well-known Chaturyuga in Dwaraka and so on. Right? He is actually Baladev himself here. But he is popularly also known as Sankarshana. That Sankarshana, Mula Sankarshana, in fact. He is Baladev, Tadekatma Rupa. So, he is Sankarshana, and in that sense, he is also Ananta. Therefore, he is Ananta, which means he is not limited. Aparichinnatvat, because he is Sankarshana himself, he is Supreme Lord, so he is not limited, he is unlimited, Ananta. And that same Ananta, he also takes another form, which is holding up the earth. Below all the lower planetary systems, there is one form of Shesha, which is holding up the entire Bhumandala. So you see that particular form, Shesha, that is the thousand mouths headed form. Sahasravadan is referring to that form, Shesha here. As per Rupa Goswami, Sankarshana, he manifests in two forms. One form is the form of Ananta, which becomes the bed of the Lord. It takes, like wherever Lord is there, so then that bed, which is a serpent, that particular form. So that is Lord Ananta. And Shesha is that particular form which is holding up the whole earth. Below all the lower planetary systems, one form is holding the entire planetary systems, right? So that is a Shesha, that form. And that form is usually a Jiva actually, but he is empowered by the Sankarshana, so he is also known as sometimes Sankarshana. That Shesha, that is actually an empowered Jiva, and there is Avesha. So in that sense, Rupa Goswami explains in Laghu Bhagavata. So these are all expansions of Sankarsana. But the Moola Sankarsana, that is Baladev. He is called Deva because he is the Lord's elder brother. Sutaram Sarvesham Pujyaha. He is all the more worshipable by everyone. Deva has that sense of he being the elder brother. So that's why Lord's elder brother means he is all the more worshipable. Like that. So now here, Srila Jiva Goswami raises this objection. Is it not that he should be a junior like Sri Lakshmana, not senior to the Lord? We see that these Chaturvyuha, when they appeared in the prior incarnation, so we see that Lakshmana is Sankarshana, Amsha of Sankarshana, and Lakshmana is a junior there, Kanishtha, right? Sri Ramachandra is senior, he is the elder brother. Lakshmana is the Anuja, Ramanuja. He is the junior, their younger brother. So should it not be the case here? So in response to that, Sri Jiva Goswami says that Brahma is saying, Hare He Priya Chikirshaya. Why is that he is not the he's not the younger brother? No. In order to please Lord Hari, he became the elder brother, is mentioned. So what does that mean? So Yantritata Hanaya, he became elder brother now for the sake of stopping the control. Stopping the control. As a younger brother, Lord had complete control over him, isn't it? He is Yantrita. You understand Yantrita? Yantrita is one who is controlled, just like a machine. I mean, don't compare like a machine, but just as you can control something, then it is called Yantra. So Yantritata is when you are subservient or when you are controlled by someone. And Hanaya, in order to destroy that, stop that. So last time in the incarnation of Lord in Ramachandra's Leela, Lakshmana, Lord was completely controlling him. And he's a younger brother, so he's happy with that control. Obviously, it's not that Lakshmana is miserable. He is not miserable at all. He was very happy with that. But Lord became very distressed. This is the interesting point now. You can listen carefully. Why is Balaramji becoming younger brother this time? He is becoming younger brother especially because he wants to please the Lord. So he becoming younger brother caused actually the distress to Lord Ramachandra. He becoming younger brother. It did not cause distress to himself. This is the opinion of Jiva Goswami. Why would he be distressed if he is serving Lord Ramachandra? But the kind of responsibilities that Lakshman was given, and he was following all those responsibilities, and we know that Lakshmana's life, how Lord Ram gave such tough service and responsibility to him. So with all that, Sri Ramachandra himself felt that what a subservience and what sort of tough conditions I put Lakshmana in, and he felt some kheda and distress like that. So now in this particular incarnation or appearance, Lord wanted for the sake of his following him, just like he followed him. So just like Lakshmana followed Ramachandra in Rama Leela, now Lord Krishna wanted to follow Balaram. That is why he made him appear like, instead of younger brother, like an elder brother. This was the thing. He did not want to control Lakshmana, but he thought that let him control me and let elder brother, let him control me. This was what Lord thought. So for the sake of his, meaning Krishna's following him, meaning Balaram, for the sake of Krishna's following Balaram, just like Lakshmana followed Ramchandra during Ram Leela. And that is Hare He Priya Chikitshaya. So Baladev is understanding this desire of the Lord, and that's why to please the Lord in that manner he is appearing as elder brother instead of younger brother. So that's why. So one of Sri Baladeva's names in Brahat Sahasranama Stotra, this Stotra, Brahat Sahasranama Stotra, it's very popular. 1,000 names of Balramji. And Duryodhana would recite this many times. Duryodhana learned it from one of the sages, and then he would recite it very much. That's how he was very dear to Baladev. He would recite this. So Brahat Sahasranama Stotra. So one of the names there in of Baladev is Purva Bhakti Khedarchudagrajaha. Now you see this name. Balaramji's name is Purva Bhakti Kheda Achyutagraja. So what does this word would mean? That Purva Bhakti Khedena, Purva Bhakti Khedena Achyutagraja, one who became the elder brother of Achyuta because of distress caused by the prior devotional service. Dejection or distress caused by the prior devotional service. So now he became Agrajaha, Purva Bhakti Khedena. But our point is, who is becoming distressed? Is Lord Krishna becoming distressed, or is Balram becoming distressed? Or you could say, is Vasudeva becoming distressed, or our Sankarshana becoming distressed? Purva Bhakti Khedena. Because of the kheda, because of the dejection caused by Purva Bhakti. But who is dejection caused to? Who is becoming dejected? Is it that Balaram became dejected, or is it that Krishna became dejected? Or you could say Supreme Lord himself became dejected. Who? So that's how Sanatana Goswami and Jiva Goswami, both they give very nice understanding of this. They say, here the dejection should be understood only as Sri Krishna's. This was actually Sri Krishna's dejection, in the sense that when he saw Lakshman doing all those responsibilities and following Lord's instructions, accompanying him in forest, leaving his wife Urmila, and then having such tough responsibilities, later even abandoning Mother Sita, leaving her to the sages Valmiki's ashram and all that. So it was all very distressing to Ramachandra to see such responsibilities being given to Lakshmana. Although Lakshmana was, although he within his heart he is also very much, you can say, transcendentally distressed, but because it is following the instruction of the Lord, so he was most eager to do it. He was eager to do it. But Lord only himself felt kheda, dejection. So the meaning of kheda chudagraja is that he became Sri Krishna's elder brother because of Krishna's dejection. Because Lord was dejected, you understand the word dejection, distressed or dejection, disappointment. Sadness that is caused. So that's why this time he became elder brother, so that Krishna could be pleased. Krishna could be pleased. The Lord, having felt dejection in regard to Lakshmana, his Amsha, will never manifest such dejection towards his Swamsha, Baladev, even within one kalpa. So that's why this is Krishna's thinking is being shown here, that he saw that dejection in regards to Lakshmana, he felt the rejection, meaning Krishna felt the rejection. So that's why he decided that now let Baladev become the elder brother. और हरेः चिकीर्षया स्वातंत्र्येण हरेः सुखम कर्तुम इच्छया. Or just another meaning that is given is with the desire to cause Hari's pleasure by independence. So Balaram, he became the elder brother with the desire to cause Hari's pleasure by independence. Previously, he desired to cause Hari's pleasure in Rama Leela by Paratantriyena. Paratantriyena, Paratantra, right? That's one of the qualities of Lakshmana. Paratantrata is spoken about. So, with the desire to cause Hari's pleasure, so in Rama Leela, it would have been Harehe Priya Chikirshaya, the desire to please Lord Hari by what? By Paratantriyena, by becoming extremely subservient and avoiding all the independence of his life at Krishna's or Rama's lotus feet. So becoming Paratantra, becoming completely dependent, complete dependence on Sri Rama. So he pleased the Lord in that way, but he also caused some rejection because Lord could not see that emotional trauma of Lakshmana. So now he wants to cause Lord pleasure by Swatantriyena. That time it was Paratantriyena, now Swatantriyena, by independence, by becoming the Agraja. So he can even, he can please the Lord that, you see, now I'm independent. You don't have to feel that you have to follow all my instructions and everything in that particular manner. And we see that Balram takes also that stand, right? In Krishna Leela, he would take a different stand completely. And that's how he's pleasing the Supreme Lord. Why does he support Duryodhana or like that? So you could analyze this at various levels, but the topmost level we see is because Swatantriyena Harehe Kartum Ichchaya. Because here now he is showing and pleasing the Lord by taking that independent stand, and not the stand like Lakshmana, where he was completely dependent. And both are glorious pastimes. We are not saying, see, these are the different modes, isn't it? These are the different modes. So here, Balram, you see how he would act also independently. He would have different opinion. He did not fight Kurukshetra war. He took his independence and went away. Lord wanted Subhadra to get married to Arjuna, but Balramji wanted Subhadra should be married to Duryodhana, like that. So you see that he had different stand also, and that adds the rasa, that adds the thrill to Krishna's pastime. Otherwise, it's sometimes people, they talk so much about this, why Balram was taking side of Duryodhana when we know that he's such an evil and all that. That is to add this spice of the Leela of Swatantriya in Sri Krishna's pastime, like that. So it adds that thrill and that panorama of emotions, right? Varieties of emotions in this way. Although we know that what he's most bothered is to please Sri Krishna and nothing else. Right? Even these Bhagavan features, Lord's expansions, like Balaram or Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and all of them, although they are Bhagavanas, meaning they are themselves enjoyers, Supreme Lord, but towards the Mula Bhagavan or Sri Krishna, they have the nature of service. This idea, you must have heard this idea. So these personalities towards Krishna, they have this nature of service. Like Mahavishnu, he is also Purusha, he is enjoyer, right? He is Supreme Lord, Vishnu Tattva. But then towards Sri Krishna, he has that nature of service and rendering the service and desire to experience the sweetness of Krishna. And that kind of nature is there. Similarly, of Balram also. he has that nature towards the Supreme Lord. He wants to serve Krishna in so many rasas, in fact, all 5 rasas, right? So that's how he is there. So this is the point. When I will be senior to the Lord, he will not voluntarily experience the unhappiness Sri Raghunath felt when Lakshmana was subordination. So my subordination caused some kheda for the Supreme Lord. So now I will not become subordinate, and let me become the senior elder, and then Sri Krishna will not feel that pain now. So kheda here, very nice meaning they have analyzed. The distress is actually of Lord. Otherwise, Lakshmana or Balaram, the only motivation within his heart is whether Lord is happy, not whether he is happy or distressed. Whether Lord is happy or distressed. So finally, Jiva Goswami says, that is why our Lord is Hari, like that, right? The text says that Hare He Priya Chikirshaya. So this is Hari, you can see. This is the emotional exchange that Hari has with his expansions or even his devotees, for that matter. Hari is said to be because Manoharanath Hari. So in this way, he steals the hearts, he steals the mind, Manoharan, with such affection for his devotees or his associates, Parshadas, all of them. So, okay. Sri Baladev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Prabhupada says he is equal in supremacy to the Supreme Godhead. Tad ekatma rupa. Right? Yet wherever Krishna appears, Sri Baladev appears as his brother, sometimes elder and sometimes younger, like that. So this time he has appeared as elder brother, and we saw the reason, like that. As per Rupa Goswami, the Ramachandra's pastime happened in 24th Divya Yuga of the Vaivasvata Manvantara. So he says that it is not that Lord Ramachandra comes in every Chaturyuga. He also comes once in day of Brahma. Just like Lord Krishna also comes in once in a day of Brahma. Vamana comes thrice in a day of Brahma. Matsyavatar comes 14 times in a day of Brahma. Lord Nrsimha comes once in a day of Brahma. So like that, there are different frequencies of Lord's appearance, like that. And this is all explained in Laghu Bhagavatam. So, but yes, we see that there is also very special pastime of Sri Ramachandra, which is being referred here in terms of why Balaram Agrato, why Balaram is becoming elder brother. Okay, so thank you. We move to the next verse. I wish to cover 2 more verses. Vishnur Maya Bhagavati Yaya Sammohitam Jagat Adishta Prabhunam Shena Karyarthe Sambhavishyati. Okay, translation. Madhavendra Puri Prabhu, you want to take?
Yes. Vishnu Maya.
It's giving an echo, Prabhu. Probably 2 devices.
Yeah. There's an echo, yeah.
Okay, no problem. I'll ask someone.
Someone else can read that.
Yeah. Anand Manjari Mataji, you want to take?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Lord, known as Vishnu Maya, who is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will also appear with Lord Krishna. This potency, acting in different capacities, captivates all the worlds, both material and spiritual. At the request of her master, she will appear with her different potencies in order to execute the work of the Lord.
Thank you, Mataji. So also, now hear about the Maya, Lord's potency. She will also Sambhavishyati, she will also appear perfectly Vishnu or Maya, Maya of Sri Vishnu, Bhagavati, she is also very powerful, like Bhagavan. If you talk about the word Bhagavat, uh, the masculine form would be Bhagavan, and the feminine form would be Bhagavati. So it's like Bhagavan in the Bhagavati. The meaning is like Bhagavan in the female form. It's like that, Bhagavati. So that has the sense of she is equally powerful like the Supreme Lord. Bhagavan and Bhagavati. So she is also being Lord's potency. She is empowered by the Lord to be equally powerful. Although, of course, we know that the Shaktiman will always remain the root. Shaktiman is the one who possesses Shakti. So, although there is Abheda, there is oneness, but still, Shaktiman is the one who possesses everything, like that. He is the one who is the predominator. So, Vishnu or Maya Bhagavati, she will also, Sambhavishyati, she will also appear perfectly. What is her characteristic? Yaya Sammohitam Jagat, that Maya which bewilders the entire universe. So, Adishta, having received instruction, being ordered by the Supreme Lord, Adishta Prabhuna, she being ordered by the Supreme Lord Prabhu, Sri Krishna, what will happen? Amshena karyathe sambhavishyati. So she will also appear along with her Amsha. Amshena saha, that's the meaning here. It's of accompaniment. So Maya will also appear with her Amsha. So then you understand what it means is there is the appearance of Yoga Maya. And her Amsha is Mahamaya. Yoga Maya, Mahamaya. So Supreme Lord's potency, which is transcendental potency, that is Yoga Maya. The whole potency aspect is quite vivid. You know that there is Swarupa Shakti, and that particular Swarup Shakti. Under her, there are three categories further: Chit Shakti, Achit Shakti, Jiva Shakti. Under Chit Shakti, then there are multiple categories. So one of the categories is Yoga Maya. That's one of the categories. So sometimes we may just equate everything, but there are categories within them also. So Chit Shakti is the broader aspect. Under Chit Shakti, you have various functions which are manifested by personalities, female personalities. These are the potencies. So under this Chit Shakti, there is this one of the potencies called as Yoga Maya. And she is going to appear now in Krishna Leela here. She will also appear. And her Amsha, which is the potency of Mahamaya, she will also appear. So both of them are going to appear in this Krishna Leela to perform their roles. That's the point, right? Sridhar Swami. Lord's Maya will manifest in Yashoda, Sambhavishyati, Yashodayam Sambhavishyati, to perform duties such as bewildering Yashoda and drawing out the embryo from Devaki's womb. So, Sridhar Swami just explains that this particular potency will do tasks such as bewildering Yashoda, especially about who was born, whether it was that was a son or a daughter, and then also activities like drawing out the embryo from the Devaki's womb, Devaki Garbha Sankarshana Yashoda Mohana Adhikaryat. She will perform all these activities. So this is actually Yoga Maya, right? As per Sridhar Swami, this is Yoga Maya, and she will appear from Yashoda. So we say that, this will also be described later, right? that Lord Krishna and Yogamaya, they appeared from Yashoda. So this Yogamaya is going to bewilder the devotees like Yashoda or like Devaki, or taking the womb of taking the embryo who was in Devaki's womb, Baladev, and moving him to Rohini's womb. So all that task will be done by Yogamaya. And the activities such as bewildering Kamsa and all that, that will be done by Mahamaya. So these two are two different tasks, and Vishwan Chakravarti, he categorizes them. He says that within Lord's Leela, it's not that everyone is under influence of Yogamaya. No. There may be demons who are under influence of Mahamaya. They're not under the influence of Yogamaya. And there are devotees who are under influence of Yogamaya. And then there are some other personalities who may be under influence of both of the parties, right? They may be partly overpowered by Mahamaya, meaning under influence of Mahamaya, and they may be also under influence of some desire of the Lord by which they are acting. But that will not be considered Yogamaya. You don't call it Yogamaya. You may call it as Lord's desire, Chit Shakti Vritti, or some other names that way. But the point is, yes, two different tasks. Bewilderment of pure devotees, Lord's associates, is done by Yogamaya, and bewilderment of demons or those who are not pure devotees is done by the aspect of Mahamaya, like that. So this is the point. Additionally, Brahma says that the Lord ordered Yogamaya and Maya for the purpose of bewildering devotees, who are the Lord's associates in his own pastimes, and persons such as Kamsa, who are envious of devotees. So those who are, Bhakta Dveshis, those who are envious of devotees like Kamsa, so for that purpose, there is one potency. And there is another potency, which is for bewildering devotees who are Lord's associates. So Vishnu's Maya will make a manifestation, Sambhavishyati, Pradur Bhavishyati, along with an Amsha, Amshena Saha. So that Amsha, her Amsha is actually Maya. That is Mahamaya, who is an outsider. She is Bahiranga, external potency, and her own expansion, Swamsha. So Yogmaya's expansion, which is external expansion, Bahiranga Maya, is Mahamaya. In regard to Karyarthe, for the purpose of the functions, Karyarthe, the duties are twofold. What are those duties? The first kind involves drawing out Devaki's 7 fetus, causing Yashoda to sleep, and so on. That is only Yogmaya's duty, not Maya's or Mahamaya's. Because Maya is unable to pull out Balabhadra, her controller, and because there is no Rajoguna involved in bringing about Yashoda's sleep. So Mahamaya will not cause activities such as Akarshan, such as pulling out Balabhadra from Devaki's womb, right? She cannot do that. She doesn't have that power. She cannot stand in front of Baladev or Shri Krishna. But Yogamaya, because of her service, because of her loving affection for the Lord and service, she being the Shakti of the Lord in that fashion. So she is able to do this. So by Yogamaya's influence, Balabhadra was moved from Devaki's womb and placed in Rohini's womb. We know that. After spending 7 months in Rohini, in Devaki's womb, then Baladav spent another 7 months in Rohini's womb also. So that is the task of Yogamaya. And because there is no Rajoguna involved also in bringing about Yashoda's sleep, and similarly causing Yashoda to sleep and not even understanding whether a son was born or a daughter was born, like that. And later, of course, she realizes. But the point is that even Yashoda's Mohana, that is caused by Yogamaya. The second duty, deceiving Kamsa in the form of Devaki's daughter, is only the work of Maya, not of Yoga. And then Kamsa Vanchana, Kamsa, the deception that is done towards Kamsa, deceiving Kamsa, that is done by Mahamaya potency. So what appears in front of Kamsa, that is Mahamaya. We know that she appeared in the form of Durga, that potency. So Yogamaya and Mahamaya both have made their appearance, and appropriately, depending on who are they dealing with, those two potencies will manifest like that. So it is improper to employ Yogamaya towards such wicked people, like Kamsa. No. So what is acting there is Mahamaya. That way. You understand? Even Putana, when she came to Krishna, we will see these principles ahead also. When Putana came, so bewilderment caused to the Brajvasis that they could not recognize Putana. How is that? How is that? They are thinking that, oh, is this Lakshmi? She seems to be so beautiful. I think this is some heavenly goddess, or she's probably Lakshmi herself who has come to bless our child. So what this sort of bewilderment is caused by what? It is caused by Yogamaya. But for Putana to see the Lord, or to see all these Brajavasis and think that, well, I can easily cheat them, and to see the Lord and think that, well, I can easily kill him, seems like an innocuous child. I can easily finish him off. So this is happening because of Mahamaya, this idea, thinking like this. So within the same Leela, you see the influences. Whose influence is there? That way. So that's how sometimes devotees, they have this misunderstanding that, well, in Lord's Leela, everybody is a pure devotee. They might think like every demon is also a pure devotee. It's not like that. You have to see case by case. It's not like that necessarily. Some demons like Hiranyaksh, Hiranyakashipu, because of their prior desire to fight, to please Lord by fighting. So that is different case, but it's not like that with Kamsa or Putana or Bakasur or these people, no. And they are demoniac people. They may have some sort of prior mixed feelings, like Putana is Ratnamala in prior life. All that is okay. But then still, her attitude was very demoniac when she appeared in Krishna Leela. It's not that she is eternal associate or something. One of the devotee, he was saying to me, oh, Putana is also eternal associate. Not like that. She became eternal associate. She became eternal associate. After Lord gave her such a mercy, it is inexplicable mercy. It does not happen like that. When the demons are typically killed by other incarnations, and they have to take another birth actually, and they have to practice bhakti, and then they get they can go back home, back to Godhead. That's how Lord treats, especially the other incarnations. They treat like that when the demons are killed. But when Lord Krishna kills a demon, he can send them back home, back to Godhead. This is extraordinary kind of behavior. This is not seen in other incarnations also. Even Parashar Muni in Vishnu Puran is discussing this point. This is amazing, he says that. What sort of behavior is this? Which incarnation does like this? That you kill a demon, and then you send that demon back home, back to Godhead. Give him love of Godhead. Give him a position like your mother. So that's that speciality of Krishna, Hatari Gati Dayaka. So yeah, so this is how various demons and the devotees, they are dealt by two different potencies, Yogamaya and Mahamaya. So Yogamaya word is never used for anyone who is not a pure devotee. Remember this. Yogamaya does not act on someone who is not a pure devotee. Not at all. That's the fundamental idea. Ritirtham yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani. Tam vidya tat vidyadatmano maya yatha bhaso yatha tama. If you see the explanation of this verse, fundamental Yogamaya will only act if one has love of Godhead. आत्मनि ऋते मतलब आत्मा के साक्षात्कार होने पर then only Yogamaya acts. Otherwise, Yogamaya does not act. So, till that point, what acts is Chit Shakti Vritti, the general Chit Shakti Vritti, Chit Shakti potency. It's called. It's not exactly that potency called Yogamaya. It's a very specific potency. It bewilders a devotee only on the level of prema, not before that. Okay, so we might sometimes use that word in a very frivolous manner, but no, Yogamaya acts only on those who have love of God. That's it. That's how she is. That potency is defined like that, this way. So, okay. It was only Maya who slipped out of Kamsa's hands, rose in the sky, and became one who has manifold names, which refer to her numerous abodes such as Vindhyavasini and so on. So, yeah, that episode where Maya appeared to Kamsa. So, although she's born as Yoga Maya to Yashoda, naturally for the Kamsa, her Amsha, which is Mahamaya, is being manifested and is bewildering. Kamsa is under influence of Mahamaya. So both are working for executing Lord's pastime. You understand? Lord's pastime, because both are his potencies. So Mahamaya is also contributing towards the pastime of the Lord, and Yogamaya is also contributing. It's just that they are handling two different sets of people. The work of bewildering the husbands and mothers-in-law of the Lord's beloveds to accomplish Rasa Leela and so on only pertains to Yogamaya. So Vishwan Chakravarti is telling different aspects of Mahamaya and Yogamaya. It was only Maya, not Yogamaya, who bewildered Duryodhana. But if you see Duryodhana's bewilderment, that is by Mahamaya. Shalva, other asuras, when they saw the universal form, the Lord's mounting Garuda and so on, and respectively, and thought that, oh, he's not God, he's just a puffed up Yadava. When Duryodhana saw Krishna and he saw universal form also, but still he felt like, no, this is some jugglery, and this is just a puffed up Yadava. He's a proud Yadava, I can capture him. So this is all happening because of influence of Mahamaya. This way. Since it was seen that they were averse to the Lord. So these personalities are averse to the Lord, and those who have love for the Lord. That's the defining criteria. Those who are averse to the Lord, naturally they will not be under Yogamaya. Yogamaya will not act on them. And those who have love for the Lord, for them she will act this way. Okay, so just let's see. In the Vedas, it is said that the potencies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are called by different names such as Yogamaya and Mahamaya. Ultimately, however, the Lord's potency is one, exactly as electric potency is one, although it can act both to cool and to heat. So Prabhupada would give a very simple example to drive home this point, that it is one energy, but which is acting in two different functions, like that. But while we understand this point, it should not be like very simplistic also. Sometimes devotees might think, okay, it is just one energy, so there is just one energy. No, but if it is just one energy, why to distinguish between Chit and Achit, right? One energy is the energy which is personal, conscious energy, while another energy is not conscious. She is unconscious, Achit. So distinctions are being made by Lord himself. So the point of calling it as one is in the sense that one potency is there, but her expansions, that potency expands into different categories. One energy expands into different categories. So once she expands, then these are different categories altogether. That's the point. And also the function is one. The function is to serve the Lord. Whether a Chit Shakti or a Chit Shakti, the function is one, right? So that's why also she is known as Eka. That's the purpose. This way. So otherwise, yes, there are categories in Krishna's Parasya Shaktir Vividhaiva Shruya, right? This Vividha, which is having diversity. So we see that. Okay. So Prabhupada speaks about the Maya Shakti, especially how she bewilders the conditioned souls on that particular aspect. Thus, the Lord's potency Vishnu Maya has two features, Avaranika and Unmukha. So he uses another terms also for that. Avaranika is the one which is covering, and Unmukha is the one which is making us go towards or see towards the Lord, like that. So one potency is covering, and another one is making you see towards the Lord. Another one is making you see away from the Lord. So that's Avaranika and Unmukha. So, all right. By the order of Lord Krishna, his potency Yogamaya came with him and exhibited different activities according to the time and circumstances. So, yes, this idea we saw in great detail. So, as devotees, we don't want to be under Mahamaya. We want to be under Chit Shakti potency of the Lord. So, as soon as we start practicing bhakti, so we come under the shelter of that Daivi Prakriti or that Chit Shakti. But of course, we also continue to be under influence of Mahamaya. So as sadhakas, what is our situation? We are under influence of that Maya Shakti, as well as we are under the influence of Chit Shakti. So we see that when we are listening to Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, then we are under the influence of Chit Shakti. And when we are, listening to our own mind and senses and their plans which are non-Krishna conscious, so then we are under Maya Shakti, like that. So in our case, it's a tussle. We are under both the potencies. Both the potencies are trying to pull us towards them. But then, depending on how much eager we are and what sort of association we take, it will depend. We take shelter of which energy. So like this, a non-devotee is completely under shelter of Maya Shakti. A sadhaka, a practitioner, is under the control of Maya Shakti and Chit Shakti. And then when you become a pure devotee, then you are, when you achieve prema, then you are completely under the control of, you could say, Chit Shakti. Then it's a complete control of that Chit Shakti, like that. So once somebody becomes, goes on that prema level, then at that time Yogamaya can act. It's not necessary that she should act. As I said, it's a very specific potency. She may act on certain devotees. Certain devotees, that Yogamaya potency does not act. She does not bewilder that devotee or that kind of lila or like that. No. So it's a specific function which Lord decides whom on which devotee that Yogamaya should act or not act. All that, it's part of his own plan in the lila, and that way. But Chit Shakti, which is the general spiritual transcendental potency. So under that Chit Shakti, we are practicing bhakti, and as we progress and achieve the prema stage, then we will be under completely shelter of that Chit Shakti and Chit potency of the Lord, this way. So that's how. Okay. So this last verse, there is no commentary to this, so I will just read the shloka and purport, and then Next verse onwards, then begins the particular episode of Kamsa. Kamsa and Kamsa carrying his sister Devaki. And then this whole Akashvani taking place and all that. So we'll see that in the next session. I'll just finish this conclusion. Shri Shukha Uvacha Ityadishyamaraгаnan Prajapatir Patir Vibhuhu Ashvasya cha Mahim Girbhihi Swadhama Paramam Yayau. Okay, so last verse. Ravindra Sachivotra Prabhu, you want to read last verse?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam.
Translation.
Yes. Shukadev Goswami continued. After thus advising the demigods and pacifying the Mother Earth, the very powerful Lord Brahma, who is the master of all other Prajapatis and is therefore known as Prajapati Pati, returned to his own abode, Brahmalok. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So in this way, instructing the words of Lord, which he had heard in Samadho Gagane Samiritam, which he had heard in his Samadhi, those words. So Brahmaji, he addressed those words or those orders from the Supreme Lord to all the Devatas, and he went back to his Satyaloka. Ityadishya Amar Ganan. In this way, Amar Ganan Adishya, having ordered, informed the hosts of the demigods, Prajapati Patir Vibhuhu. He is known as the master of even the Prajapatis, right? Prajapatis are his sons, or sometimes even grandsons. Prajapati Pati Vibhuhu is known as Vibhu, Visheshana Avir Bhavati Saha Vibhuhu. He appears in a very unique way from Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. So he is Vibhu. Ashvasya cha Mahim Girbhihi. So in this way, he spoke about this order of Supreme Lord to the Devatas and also reassured Mother Earth that you don't worry now. Soon you will be blessed with Lord's footprints on your surface. So he gave this wonderful news to Devatas and also Mother Earth and reassured her that all her woes, all her distress will be now vanquished. Swadhama Paramam Yayu. And he went to his transcendental abode, which is the Brahmalok. Hare Krishna. So thank you all very much for your patient listening. So I'll stop here. Any of you need to leave, please go ahead. If you have question, you may ask. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Ishwara Prabhu.
Thank you, bro, for the wonderful class once again. And I just wanted to know the Avanika is going away from the Lord and Unmukha is going towards the Lord?
Yeah, yes, Prabhu. Avaranika is that which covers, and Unmukha, that which makes you go towards the Supreme Lord. So, I mean, these are generic words which he is using, so that's how I understand. I did not come across these words although the functions are mentioned. Generally, other words are used like Jiva Maya, Guna Maya. These words are used by Jiva Goswami. And that you have heard those, you know, those words, what it means. But yeah, Avaranika and Prabhupada uses, of course, Avaranika and Prakshepatmika, these also in some other places, right? But those both are functions of Maya only. Avaranika, that has the sense of covering potency, and Prakshepatmika, he says, is the kicking potency that gives the misery. So if we were to talk about both these potencies, actually they are Jiva Maya. If you want to put under exact category, it would be under Jiva Maya. So in that sense, so here Avaranika and Unmukha should mean Mahamaya and Yogamaya, as far as I see. Vimukha is the word opposite to Unmukha. Unmukha means that which makes you see towards somebody. That is called Unmukha. Un literally means you raise Mukha. So you raise your Mukha towards someone. That is called Unmukha. And Vimukha is you turn away the face. That is called Vimukha. So Maya is that which makes you turn your face away from the Lord. But Yog Maya makes you turn your face towards the Lord this way. Okay.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah. Anand Manjari Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Huh.
Please
Yes,
speak.
Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I was wondering, Mother Kekai was under the influence of Yog Maya? Because she's mother of Lord and then she was acting envious to the Lord. So how do you understand that?
Yeah, so that's how here when we talk about these personalities, Prabhu, Mataji, so then especially those who are mothers of the Lord and all, so obviously that will not be under the influence of Yogamaya. That will not be under the influence of Mahamaya like that, because these are mothers, no? So these are associates of the Lord.
Yeah.
These are so it is arranged like that by the Supreme Lord's potency. For associates of the Lord, Parshadas, we will see that they will not be bewildered by Mahamaya. It will be always. So apparently, even when they seem to be acting in opposition or acting in a way that is not good, but then it's basically to teach some lessons for us, no doubt. It's to teach certain lessons. And what to speak of Ramachandra, the whole pastime is just full of, it's a Naradev, Naralila, so it's full of Maryadas to show us, it's full of lessons. Krishna's pastimes are not necessary to show much lesson or something. They are only to show his Bhagavata, especially Vrindavan pastimes. And Jiva Goswami says, okay, Dwaraka pastimes, you can learn some things from there, no doubt. But in Vrindavan pastimes and all, it's just all about showing his supreme enjoyer nature. But that's not how Maryada Purushottam Lord is. So sometimes within his Leela, you may see some associates also acting in a way which is very bewildering. But yeah, we understand that is being arranged by the Lord.
Okay, Prabhuji, thank you. And Prabhuji, another thing you mentioned, Sankarshan has two forms, Anant and Shesh. So Shesh holding up the earth in the lowest planetary, so that is the Patan. So Lord Shiva meditates on Shesha.
Lord Shiva, when we talk about Lord Shiva, one who is Sankarshana, right? Lord Shiva's worshipable deity is Sankarshana. That's what we say, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when we talk about Lord Shiva's worshipable deity is Sankarshana, so that is obviously Sankarshana, who is the Supreme Lord Sankarshana, Vasudev Sankarshana in that Chaturvyuha, that way. So now when he sees Lord Sankarshana at the bottom of the earth, we see that he's also Lord only, right? Although he's a Jiva usually who is empowered, but then still he's seen non-different as Lord Sankarshana only. Whenever we see in Bhagavatam and all, so that Sankarshana, if he is being referred, he's always seen as the Lord. So he is an avatar only. So whether Lord Shiva is worshipping that Lord original Sankarshana or whether he is worshipping Shesha, but I think the point is here that he will always see it as Bhagavad Avatar. So he is a devotee of Sankarshana. But that typically but refers to Sankarshana who is from the Vyuha, and that's Sankarshana. From the Chaturvyuha, Vasudev Sankarshana Pradyumna. But Shesha is considered non-different from him, although we see it's just like Parshuram, right? He is also Shakti-Avesh, but then when we treat him as Supreme Lord, he is incarnation. So that way we will not make distinction in terms of Parshuram, because he is also Supreme Lord himself, although he is a Shakti-Avesha. So same way, Shesha is Shakti-Avesh as per, that is quoted by Jiva Goswami and also Rupa Goswami. But then the way they will be reciprocated by personalities like Shiva, or even for that matter Chitraketu when he meets Sankarsana, they will treat as Lord only, no, because it is incarnation. That way.
So his meditation is on Sankarsana of the
On the
Chatur.
Sankarsana from the Chaturvyuha.
Chaturvyuha. Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
Vipul Prabhu, yeah.
Haribol
Yes,
Prabhu, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
So you talked about the original Ram appearing once in a day of Brahma. So my question is, even though he appears once a day, but every once in 4 yugas, the Ramayana story happens, right?
I don't have any praman for this, that every Chaturyuga Ramayana happens. That's, I mean, I have not seen this idea spoken by anyone. So if you are saying, would you like to tell the praman, or if you are asking, then I will tell that as far as Rup Goswami is concerned, like, as I said, Ramayana, when he speaks about Ramayana, so he says that this pastime happened in the 24th Divya Yuga of this Vaivasvat Manvantara. So talking about Rama, he does not say that he appears in every Treta Yuga or like that. No. So that particular idea, unless until somebody gives some pramanas, then we can accept. But otherwise, even the Ramayana, when did that occur? So Rupa Goswami says, well, it has occurred 4 yuga cycles before in 24 Divya Yuga.
Okay. But then we keep saying, right? Like Krishna pastime also happens every once in 4 yugas. And then the Gauranga Mahaprabhu that comes is Gaur Narayan. So, I mean.
Okay. Yeah. See, Prabhu, a lot of ideas are spoken about, but there may not be exactly pramanas for that. So this idea of now Gaur Narayan. So first of all, that name, where is it mentioned, Gaur Narayan? If it is mentioned by some acharya, we may accept. But as far as I have heard, or I have checked with some very good scholars of Shastra, Gaudiya Shastras, but that where is that term coming from, Gaur Narayan? We don't know. What happens when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I mean, when other Chaturyugas are there? Like this is
Right,
seventh
right.
month, Vaivasvat Manvantara's 28th Divya Yuga or Chaturyuga. And in this particular Treta Yuga, in this particular Dwapar Yuga, Lord Krishna appears. And then just immediately following Kali Yuga, then we see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears. What happens in other Divya Yugas or Chatur Yugas? So what happens is, a personality, a Yugavatar comes, but that Yugavatar is a Jiva. He's not the Supreme Lord. He is considered as Yugavatar, but he is never the Supreme Lord. He's not a Vishnu Tattva also. This is from Laghu Bhagavatamrita. Rupa Goswami says that this personality is a Jiva, and his complexion is black. Only in this particular Chatur Yuga, Kali Yuga, it is a yellow incarnation. Otherwise, it is usually black. In Kali Yuga, I'm saying. It's a black incarnation. And he spreads the holy names. He may not give Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but he spreads the holy names. And he's a Jiva. So in Kali Yuga, no, the Lord's incarnations, they don't appear. And the only exception is the 28th Divya Yuga of 7th Manvantara. Otherwise, that's why Lord is known as Triyuga. Why? The reason he is known as Triyuga is the reason because he does not appear in Kali Yuga. He only appears in other yugas. So you could say, what about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Yes, that we can treat as exception. And that's why Prabhupada would also tell that, yes, he is coming in a covered form, Channa. So that's why also we say Tri Yuga. But the fact is that in Kali Yuga, Lord's incarnation, Lord's meaning Lord himself, Vishnu Tattva, that does not appear, Prabhu. So this is the clear-cut opinion of Laghu Bhagavatamrita. So it is Yugavatar, no doubt. Whether he is Gaur Narayan, well, as I said, at least I don't know any Shastra which mentions such name. And his complexion is mentioned, certainly, Krishna, which is black. And it is said that he's a Jiva also. He's a living entity who is empowered to act as Yugavatar. That's all.
So this one thing that also we hear that, in other yugas, the Vishnu, he incarnates as Krishna, and therefore in Vedas we find that it is Vishnu avatar. Krishna is Vishnu avatar. So what is this concept?
I had explained this in prior session, bro. This was part of the discussion. Probably you missed that session, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, I'll summarize quickly because as we had elaborate discussion on this. The point is that 20th Divya Yuga, Lord himself appears, meaning Sri Krishna, who is accepted as Swayam Bhagwan by all of us in Gaudiya Vaishnava. So he himself appears. So what happens in other yugas if it is not 28th Divya Yuga? So typically speaking, that particular incarnation, he is Shama, he is of the complexion, which is blackish bluish Shama. And that incarnation is typically the expansion of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. So in that sense, he is indeed avatar of Vishnu, typically. In other, Ete Chamsha Kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. This particular verse is explaining this idea that except for the 28th Divya Yuga, usually in other Divya Yugas, that particular Yuga avatar of Dwapar Yuga, he is an incarnation coming from Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. So we may call that as Vasudeva or whatever name that is mentioned there. The point is that that particular incarnation is not Swayam Bhagavan Krishna. He is expansion of Mahavishnu. You could say Garbhodakshayi Vishnu more specifically this way. So that's how the idea that Lord Krishna is Vishnu's incarnation. I was just saying that it may be spoken about in that manner. I'm saying it is possible, but as Vaishnavas or as followers of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, we understand Krishna. When we say Krishna, we mean that Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, Shama Sundar Krishna. So is he an incarnation of Vishnu? No, he is not an incarnation. He is not that way. So
Yeah. I mean, Prabhu, I asked because this thing that, in every 4 yugas, the pastime keeps happening. So I'm from that perspective, I'm asking. So from the Lord Ram perspective, you are saying that it may not be every 4 yuga because there's no praman that is there.
At least not in my knowledge. Especially about Rama, in our Sampradaya, not much is spoken about also. So probably Sri Vaishnavas may have some more pramanas on this. Ramanandis may have some more pramanas.
So then about Mahabharata, does it happen every once in every? That is also
I
not
don't
clear.
know. Nobody's spoken these things. I'm not sure. We know things primarily from the particular day of Brahma in which Lord has appeared as Krishna. So primarily it's talked about. And then what happens in other yuga cycles, you may not have much information. Some information is there. And especially then what happens outside of this kalpa is hardly any information. You may get some information of what happens in this day of Brahma. It is mentioned in Shastra. But especially beyond this day of Brahma, what happens is hardly very few incidents. So similarly, about Sri Krishna's appearance, we hear and talk a lot about in terms of this 28th Divya Yuga. But now what happens beyond this debate? A little bit here that something is mentioned. It's not mentioned about elaborately which pastimes are there, which are not there. These
Okay,
things
okay.
are
Yeah, yeah, Prabhu. So that was the question that. Okay, Prabhu. No, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Sudhanshu Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Sudhanshu Prabhu? Yeah, please
Hare
speak.
Krishna, Prabhu. Then Prabhu. Prabhu, I need
Prabhu.
some clarification. This last second line in the purport of 23rd verse. Purport. Among the Suras 3, the women of heavenly planets, there are many devotees, such as Mother of Pendra, incarnation of Krishna. So, is it Mother of Pendra incarnation means this Aditi or her wife, his wife?
No. Yeah, interestingly, Prabhupada has written mother there. So see, if we want to take the Aditi there, I mean, mother of, so what happens? See, Aditi, if we want to take that particular aspect, mother is obviously Aditi. That is not Kirti. Wife is Kirti. Vamana's mother is Aditi. So, where is Aditi in Krishna Leela? So, Aditi and Kashyapa, they are there.
Devaki.
We see that they are there in Devaki and Vasudeva.
Yes, ma'am.
So, these Aditi and Kashyapa, they are considered to be the amshas, portions of Devaki and Vasudeva. And what happens in Devaki and Vasudeva, which is the third time Lord is appearing to them, right? He came as Prishni Garbha, he came as Vamana, and finally, Lord is fulfilling the promise he gave to Prishni and Sutapa by becoming Lord Krishna, who appeared to Devaki and Vasudeva, like that. So now here, as Devaki and Vasudeva, within them, these personalities are there, like Aditi and Kashyapa. They are there within them. They are considered portions. This is how Jiva Goswami is explaining in Krishna Sandarbha. So, if we want to take that particular meaning, Surastriya Prabhupada is translating ladies of the Devatas as the mother. So, if you take that meaning, then you can connect it in this fashion. Otherwise, that particular meaning by most of the acharyas was always for the beloveds of Upendra, the avatars. So, but that meaning is perfectly fine because you can connect it to Vasudevaki and Vasudeva in that sense. So if you want to take mother, then that's how we can connect it. Yes, Prabhupada, the way Prabhupada is explaining.
So there are, I think, in heavenly planets, there are very few avatars. Like we know about Upendra. Maybe because we are not told, of course. But for then other examples, because Surastriya means so many, not one.
Yeah. Maybe others. I'm not sure others, which are the others. One certainly is Vamana. Some other incarnations, especially Manvantara avatars, he's saying. So amongst the Manvantara avatars, we can look for which are appearing in heavenly planets. Yagya is obviously appearing here. Yagya and okay, maybe we have to see. At least 7 Manvantara avatars are talked about in 8th canto. So within that, some of them are appearing in the heavenly planets also. So I may have to check. I didn't see that. Okay.
Prabhu, one more small clarification. Prabhu, this Chit Shakti which affects the practicing devotee generally. So that Chit Shakti is that Sambit Shakti that we say Sachidanand, then Sandhini Samvit and Ahladini. So it is some Sambit Shakti or something else that nomenclature should be.
Okay. All right. See, Prabhu, the function under Chit Shakti, there is this functionality which is Sandhini, Samvit, Ladini. Of course, their personalities also, but you can put those 3 functionalities under Chit, also under Achit, also under Jiva. So Chit Shakti is the overarching, And then under that you put Sandhini, Samvit, Ladini. Okay. So there is under Chit Shakti the aspect of Sandhini, which is the transcendental existence. Anything which is transcendental in its constituent, that is Sandhini. Like Lord's form, which is completely transcendental. So that is Sandhini potency. Or the pure devotee's form, in the sense those who are associates with transcendental body. So that is all Sandhini. Samvit is the aspect of the knowledge about the Lord and everything. And then Sandhini, Samvit, and Ladini. Ladini is the joy that one receives in Bhakti. So these three functionalities under Chit Shakti. These three functionalities are there. Similarly, under Achit also. You take Maya Shakti, under her also these three potencies are there. So Maya Shakti has the functionality of Samvit. So that is what knowledge about the mundane subject matters and knowledge about whatever the material knowledges. Sandhini is the material existence, that which is transformation of Maya Shakti. Whatever you see around, that is Sandhini. And this wall, this light, this table, whatever, it is all transformation of matter. So that would be Sandhini. So Sandhini, Samvit, and Ladini. And also Ladini, within the material aspects, there is certain pleasure, right? Whatever that pleasure is very brief, but then still some aspect of Jadananda is spoken about. It's a lot imaginary than actual, but yeah, still there is some pleasure in the material world, which is enough to keep you attached to the misery. So that Jadananda aspect is there, no? Vishayananda, that would be Ladini aspect under Achit. Similarly, for the Jiva Shakti also, that same aspect is being spoken. So you could put in that manner. These three are the functionalities, Sandhini, Samvit, Ladini, and they can be put under Chit, Achit, and Jiva Shakti, all three of them. It is mentioned. Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains like this in Jayavadhar.
So in Jiva, how it's they are working?
Yeah, in Jiva, he connects it to especially pleasure, like pleasure of Brahman. He says one is Jadananda, one is the transcendental potency and pleasure in connection to Krishna. So what happens at the level of Brahman? So that's how he connects that Jiva Shakti aspect to Brahman. He says that the aspects pertaining to existential aspect pertaining to Brahman, existential aspect pertaining to the happiness in Brahman, the knowledge aspect pertaining to Brahman, that would fall under Sandhini, Samvit, Ladini, under Jiva Shakti. Okay.
So one more little clarification, if I can ask, or that.
Okay, ask quickly.
Like this, like Vaman Avatar is there, so he's also Manvantar Avatar, and we say sometime he's like a Leela Avatar also, and Yuga Avatar. How to differentiate this? Because
Leela Avatar is quite a general category, Prabhu. I mean, Leela Avatar, you see, in Bhagavatam, first canto, third chapter. So all of them are said to be Leela, right?
yes.
So now these are all Leela Avatars, 22, 23, whatever incarnations are spoken. So these are all Leela Avatars. And in that you see all sort of categories are there. And there are Kumaras, which are Shaktavesh Avatar, and there is Lord Krishna himself there. And then before that, all Nasimha, Vamana, Narada, who is again Shaktavesh. So Leela Avatar is a general category, bro. It's not so much specified. It's like the avatars which are manifesting the leelas, some special leela in this world. There itself, Jiva Goswami says that, well, don't think that these many only are the leela avatars. He says these are just sample. There are so many other leela avatars. We have just put some sample 22, 23 here. So you make categorization like Yuga Avataras or like Manvantara Avataras, like Purusha Avataras. They are more rigid, they are more systematic. And Leela Avatar is like a generic, any special Vishesh Leela is there, it can be put under Leela Avatars. So 10 incarnations also, right? Dashavatara. So these are some sort of distinctions, bro. They are not like very specific distinctions. Even within Dashawataras, you see all sorts of incarnations. And there is Parshuram, which is Shaktavesh, Buddha is Shaktavesh, while Nrsimha, Vamana, they are Vishnu Tattvas and Lilavataras. And Krishna is there, who is not an avatar only, he is avatari. So all sorts of things. That way.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mukesh Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam. Can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Thank you for patiently waiting.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving the chance. Here the 10.21.23, like Sridhar Swami says, and you said that in the Seed Krishna verse and all, Sridhar Swami said that we should not take the literal meaning at the black and white hair because it would contradict the Paribhas Sutra. So my general question was, many verses in Bhagavatam where it is directly said that Krishna, like Vishnu Viryani also is there. So wherever the Vishnu words come as supreme, then we say that we should not contradict the Bhagavatam. So my question is, when we say 1.3 is the Paribhas Sutra, so did Vyasdev say that it is a Paribhas Sutra or this is a Gaudiya term? Because if you say it is Gaudiya, then other acharyas will, other sampradas will say no, then how can we accept? So how to who has given this?
Yeah. See, Prabhu, when you read Shastra, Vyasadeva does not say that Lord Krishna is Vishnu's incarnation. Neither he will directly say that, Vishnu is Krishna's incarnation or something like that. I mean, the scriptures, they themselves have the verses which are written by Vyasadeva only. But you see, there is a style of learning called as analytical way and synthetical way. So when Shastras are spoken, Vyasadeva never embarks upon this particular premise saying, okay, here I am now. I am explaining Avatar Tattva. Now please understand. Here I am going to speak about Avatar Tattva. And the basic premise is Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead, and understand everything with this premise now further. He never speaks like this. And same way Parashar Muni in Vishnu Puran also never speaks like this. That, okay, now I'm going to explain Avatar Tattva. Please know that. Okay, this is it. Vishnu is the source, Krishna is the avatar, now understand everything. So when you read Shastra, you have to see them from the overall message of the Shastra. You have to see Paurvaparya. What are the prior statements? What are the para statements? And try to make a sense of the whole thing this way. That is called as analytical style. So when the acharyas write now, that is called as analytical style. When the Shastra itself speaks, it will never be in that analytical style. It will be always in that synthetical or organic unity kind of thing. So many topics being spoken in so many places. Now you try to make an analysis of that particular this way. So when acharyas are presenting something, like Ramanuja is making a case, or when our acharyas are making the case, they will always speak like, see, this is the overall proof of these things. This is how we can understand. You see, these are the statements. And then from that angle, you see who is able to do a good justice with overall text, overall message. So that's why learning and understanding Shastra may not be that simple affair where you just quote a verse and say, just see, this is verse, this is finished, done. Why you are now talking further things? No. Sometimes it is not just one scripture, but you have to see multiple scripture across and then see some sort of overall unified message, because it is there. It's not that it is not there. It is there, unified message. So now within that, the Sampradayas, Prabhu, would certainly differ, and they might want to give a cogent overall kind of presentation which gives you the sense of the scriptures. So now within that, you may find some sort of differences and all that, and we should not get much bewildered on that. You join a particular sampradaya, try to see the kind of presentation of scriptures that is being done and its overall depth and all that. And then, if that convinces you to practice that path, then you follow that path. Oftentimes, what happens, we may not have studied only tradition in depth, and then we may have our own preconceived notions that, oh, Gaudiya speak like this only. Why? Because we have not studied that tradition end to end. We have not studied it extensively, the way it has been analyzed, the way so many pramanas have been given from the different sources and all that. Similarly, I may see also about Sri Vaishnavas. I may not have studied Sri Vaishnava tradition extensively, and I may think like, oh, okay, Viragava Acharya is just giving a simple explanation of this verse. I don't see much deep explanation, but okay, Jiva Goswami is giving a very deep explanation of this verse, like that. So that's how it is, Prabhu. If one wants to embark upon the completeness of the text, no, so then one should be ready to study things end to end. One should be ready to see what are the opinions of other acharyas and then try to compare with our opinions. And then based on that, one can see for oneself what inspires one to practice and all. There is no, one thing that this is it, this is it, this is the truth, and everything else is false. No. The way Krishna inspires in different sampradayas with different understandings and trying to make sense of this unified message of Shastra, he may give different revelations. And that's why we respect those revelations. We respect Sri Vaishnavas, we respect Madhvites, and we also respect Gaudiyas, like that. So, what I would say is, it's good, that's why, to study deeply, try to understand deeply what are the exact arguments. I have studied the commentaries of Krishna's to Bhagwan Swayam by various acharyas on that verse, and the way it is explained by Gaudiyas naturally is it's very thorough, with quoting pramanas from Vishnu Puran or whichever episodes which we want to place in terms of, okay, Krishna is incarnation of Vishnu. So that have been analyzed very nicely to show its proper meaning. And not only by Gaudiyas. I'm saying even somebody like Sridhar Swami, who is an Acharya accepted by all traditions. He is like foremost commentator on Bhagavad. And you see he's not a Gaudiya. He is not a Gaudiya Vaishnava. He comes from another tradition. He is belonging to Rudra tradition. Of course, before they say that he was an impersonalist, but then he got connected to Rudra tradition later. So he has commented on Vishnu Puran. So he has seen those pramanas, which Parashar is speaking. And he has also seen the Vyasadeva's pramanas in Bhagavatam. And both pramanas seeing his speaking, his commentary, like that. So when we see this sort of pramanas across the traditions and they are being juxtaposed and analyzed and all that, so then you can see that yes, it's a very strong case actually. I myself spoke on Vishnu Puranas, those episodes which speak about Keshavataro to one of the Madhva scholars. And then he was saying, yeah, I mean, what explanation Jiva Goswami is saying is very brilliant, he said. So he took from me Krishna Sandarbha and he's studying Krishna Sandarbha. He said, I would like to see thoroughly why this sort of explanation is being made when we have always heard it as Keshavatara, like that. So, what would I say to everyone, I mean, all of you, is that Shastra and the explanation of Shastra, it may have some sort of sampradaya flavor, and it is perfect. It is perfectly fine. These are various interpretations of that reality. Interpretations in the sense, I would say, revelations, or we could say revelations more. But while doing this, while speaking this particular idea, certain differences will arise. But we can accept those differences and we can move ahead. because that's how a particular revelation is. Otherwise, within Sri Vaishnava tradition, or you take any tradition, within themselves, they cannot agree on so many points. There is Tankalai, there is Vadkalai, and they have such differences, right? So how far it will go, right? If we are going to see differences, then even within one tradition, there are so many differences. It goes to really critical level of interpretations and very small interpretations of words and all that. Yeah. So if we belong to a tradition, then we relish those commentaries and explanations, and we try to also see them compare with other explanations and see how they fare, how they look very cogent that way. So either we take that kind of stand where we take that effort, or we take effort in this way that we accept our Sampradaya's revelation and we accept other Sampradaya's revelations also. But because we belong to this Sampradaya, so we are very happy to understand these meanings and accept them and go ahead in life. So that's what I would say. So for us as Gaudiyas, we must study Krishna Sandarbha and the way these texts have been explained there from the various places like Narasimha Puran or Mahabharata or Vishnu Puran or like that. And then that way also check with the other tradition if we wish, how do they explain these things like that. So that's the best way for any serious student, I would say. It's the best. Is making sense to you, bro? This principle?
Yes, Prabhuji, it made a lot of sense. Can I ask a follow-up on this, Prabhuji, in this concept?
No problem. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Prabhuji, just now in the last few minutes, you said that it is very difficult to go case by case and say this is it, this is the part. It's not possible. You have to analyze the length and breadth of scripture and take the very strong case. So it means just as we say, Lord Krishna has revealed himself to other sampradayas. So they may also say that Lord Vishnu has revealed as Krishna to other sampradayas. So there is no end to this. So can we say that when we say absolute truth is inconceivable, so it is for us also, na? It's like we cannot say absolutely that Krishna is the one or Vishnu is the one. So how to understand, like how do we rest the case? Otherwise, whole life will be in faith only. Okay, after 30 years, if I see some other revelation come, new commentary comes. So how to rest my case and be assured and continue my path?
No, that's what I'm saying. It will not be that okay, here it is, and then a certain minimum faith in the sampradaya when we take diksha and when we understand fundamental principles, when we understand abhideya process of a certain sampradaya, and then we may appreciate, we take diksha and go ahead with that. If we go on continuing just doing intellectual analysis, Prabhu, then probably we will not be able to witness the efficacy of the process and benefit from the other aspects like, what is the powerful, where is the powerful abhideya available? So, in general, to make a decision, certain decisions like, okay, how is the Sambandha Jnana given? And then, okay, what sort of abhideya is there? Sometimes very wonderful Sambandha Gyan may be there, but then abhideya may not be there. Like very good, powerful abhideya by which one is able to make advancement, and that may not be there this way. So these factors of especially Sambandha and abhideya, and this will make that choice of which path to start practicing. But when you start practicing, it's also ongoing process. So much of knowledge of the Shastras and trying to analyze these aspects and all that. But somewhere we will have to accept these basic principles and move ahead. If we take a clinical scholar's approach where we just want to put everything on table and analyze, then we'll not end up anywhere. It's better than that is, we take some Sampradayas teaching seriously and start practicing. And then accordingly, if we have that kind of intellectual, you could say intellectual flavor, then we go on analyzing. We may discuss also and learn these explanations of these verses and go and talk to those whom we should, if we feel that we should talk to them and try to see how they explain and all that. That's a good way. That's constructive actually. That's constructive. So personally, I mean, this is how I will end. That what I see is when we learn Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya's certain aspects and all that, and then taking those ideas, if we want to compare them, we want to hear how these ideas are treated by others. So we may talk to them and see what sort of explanation they are giving and all. So reality or truth is not, Prabhu, just one way. There are different ways it may be explained. But followers always want in that way that we are right and you are not right. This is the only way of explanation. But Samanvay is the best way, reconciliation. So even as Gaudiyas, yeah, Krishna is supreme and Vishnu is supreme. Who amongst them is supreme? So we might try to reconcile in a way that, okay, the way you see 28 Divya Yuga is different than the way you see other Divya Yugas. And for that, whatever relevant pramanas we can present on this way. In spite of that, there may be a difference, so which is okay. We accept that. As long as you are happy with the kind of particular logical interpretation or logical explanation which your acharyas have given, and you see that it's a very plausible explanation. They are not just making something or like that. We are okay. We are fine. Otherwise, yes, there is no end to discussion. I agree with that, because always somebody can go on pushing the point and this and that this way. So that will not take up anywhere. Best is to take some path and simultaneously try to learn the length and breadth of the scriptures which are giving a certain explanation over there. That's a better approach. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for detailed explanation. It's helped a lot. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, I think we should stop here. It's 9:50 now. So let's meet in next session. Now we will continue with the Kamsa and the exact episode of now Krishna's appearance is coming up. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Vanchikalpatarubhyascha
कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। हरे कृष्ण प्रभु,
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।